How you doing, good people? L.A.R. movement still moving. As you can see by the title, if you come along, is Black America unwilling to accept what America is? And I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I spoke about this in some way, shape, form, or fashion before. And I think we have a difficulty accepting what America is, and I think the reason I'm saying that is because when some of us can just calmly express what America is, I think it's shocking to to hear it come from us as Black people. Um, but I think we need to accept what this country is and always has been. And why I'm saying that is because when we talk about the unfairness of America, the unjustness of America, the history of America. What's up, Justin? What's up, James? The unjustness of America, the double mindedness of America, just how America is full of it, right? Um, we got people who are in our group and outside of our group trying to tell us what it can be in its ideal. And the problem with that is we're not talking about ideals. This is not an ideal. This is life. This is how life is. 6 9, what's happening? You know, everybody's experience, every Black American's experience. I'm not going to say every, the vast majority, the overwhelming majority, the majority of the majority, the 90+% of us Black people in America, us, if you want to say ADOS, Foundational Blacks, we get it. What's up, Melvin? Because they're trying to see the good. Yeah, exactly. We get, this country is rigged. It's a rigged freedom is, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is rigged. That's not an across the board thing. That's not across the. We're not all Americans. We may all be. We may all be born in America, but we're not all viewed as Americans. You know what I'm saying? We're not considered the American dream. You get what I mean? So a lot of us need to accept that and stop looking at people who are not Black to understand. They understand. People who are not Black Americans, they understand racism very well. White people understand racism very well. They created it, and it's a generational inherited thing that they've been benefiting from since the beginning of this country. They don't need any explanations on racism. All the laws that they created to facilitate racism exist, and they know all of the laws benefit them because of racism. Like, we as Black people, we unwilling to accept that. We need to have a conversation with these people. Why? Why? What are they going to do? You think they're going to change? I mean, do you think if we talk to these people, they're going to change? They're going to change the laws. They're going to change how they treat people. They're going to look at us as, they hit you with the Martin Luther King line about I'm gonna look at the character. I'm looking at the content of your character. They don't care about nothing like that. Never did. Never will. They're just trying to keep this going as long as it can go. And we're not willing to accept that. That are we, what's up, John? I've been good. How you been? This idea that we're all in it together, you know, we've never been all in it together. Are we unwilling to accept that? Your mind was happening. Why are we unwilling to accept that we're not all in it together in this country? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the big deal? Does it hurt that bad to know that America don't love you back? Like, that's what it is. America overcharges you for everything. That's why I bring up the term actuaries all the time. There are people who have jobs to make sure you overpay for stuff that other people will underpay for. You know, hey, Maceo, you want to hop on here, fam? I'm sorry. I was supposed to get on your channel forever and a day, and my goofy ass keep forgetting. And the minute you pop up, it dawned on me. And if you want to come up, the first thing you can do is cuss my goofy ass out for that. Because I owe you. As a matter of fact, I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next week. So you can get it done, if you want to. And my apologies. You know what I'm saying? So my apologies, damn it. What's up, James? Matter of fact, this, God dog it, I'm messing up. Kimbo, what's happening? Hold up. Oh my goodness, hold on. I'm gonna just this is just this for Maisie. I'll put this in the chat for Maisie, power and strategy to y'all here. Nobody else, just in case he want to, Okay, you can cuss out Judge Uckery, man. I ain't got no problem with that. My forgiveness has got me cussed out a time or two, and I got to accept that. But America is interesting. I mean, we're yes, we fought in every major war in this country, and we've dealt, and as a group, the military was racist towards us in every war in this country, even the current ones. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're not willing to accept it. And the crazy part about it is, I just got to say that I think we have an issue with being cold. I think America is a cold country. It's a heartless country. It's a soulless country. It's a godless country. And I think we have a problem being heartless. We have a problem being cold. We have a problem being callous. We have a problem of we have humanity in a country that doesn't have humanity, and we're unwilling to be here and not lose our humanity. And to be honest, we don't need our humanity here. I mean, we might have to put our own humanity on ice. What's up, man? Dollar Washer, thanks, fam. Eric, what's happening? Prometheus, what's up, man? Ant, what's going on? I think, get out of there. But we got to, we having a hard time accepting what's going on. I appreciate that, Ima, and I definitely agree with that. Like, we're not taking into consideration how this stuff is always been and will continue to be. And people keep saying, "Oh, it's going to change." Nah, it's not going to change. Deidre, what's happening? Michael, what's going on? I think people are assuming because you see young people who aren't black in the streets protesting, somehow you forget that those people who are young, their parents and their grandparents are not young, and they're old, and they're gonna, and those parents and grandparents that they have, they're gonna keep the status quo. And we seem to forget that the people who are keeping the status quo now, half of them people, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. Half of those people were with the quote unquote civil rights movement now, and now they not. Hold on. I got you. I hope I got you. What the hell just happened? Man, what the hell's going on? I'm trying to add you. There you go. But half of this stuff is going on. It is what it is. Half of those people were in the civil rights movement or thought it was proper when they were younger, and the other half were against. And both sides say no thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, We having a hard time accepting this country. You can, unmute whenever you're ready. It's all good. So I'm trying to figure this out of what's going on with us that we're unwilling to accept this. Like this is what it is. You can hit. You got you there. I don't know what the hell just happened. Oh, you muted again. Got you. You there? Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. A little bit.
You can
Kind
hear
of
me?
chop. I can hear you now. You can go ahead.
You have to excuse me. My system is
It just started chopping up the minute you said
my
your
system
system.
is a little niggerish. Hold on. Yeah, my
It's all
system is
good.
a little niggerish.
You know, goddamn
So you have
Steve
to
Jobs.
excuse me.
It's the uckery, man. It's the uckery. You
Well,
know.
you said some key things. You said some key things, some very important things when you talked about, expecting it to change. Oh, oh God. Okay, hold on.
Whoever you just did, you was clear as
Okay,
day
hold
just
on.
now. You
Can you hear
good
me?
right
Is
there.
that better? Can you hear me now?
Clear as day.
Can you hear me now?
Absolutely clear as day.
It's the uckery. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, the uckery can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear now. Tell me if you can hear me. Uh-oh.
Can you
Can you
hear
hear
me?
me? Yeah, I can. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. You know what? I
Okay.
can hear. I can
Right
hear
here.
you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you for the last
All
minute.
right.
There you go.
One thing that you have to remember, man, is that you said something that was very key. You said, grandparents, parents, and grandparents. That denotes or that implies that there's an understanding of the way things were, or the way things used to be. And one of the biggest problems in the Black community is that we have a very poor understanding of the way things used to be. We don't have an appreciation of history. We think history is just a collection of dates and times and places. And that's not what that is. History explains to you why things are happening in the present. The past it's not just a collection of dates, it's meant to explain, it's meant to inform the present and explain to people why things are the way they are. And so, because we have a poor appreciation for that, we have a misunderstanding as to how much people love you. We don't understand that the informal rule of America is at all costs, you have to be above the nigger. At all costs, you must be above the nigger. No matter what happens, you must be above the niggers. That's said to every racial group that comes from Eastern Europe, every racial group that comes from South and Central America, every racial group that comes from the Far East. At least you're not the nigger. That's the place that we've always had, and it's been an informal. It hasn't been something that's been regimented. There hasn't been any declarations or edicts or proclamations. It's just something in the society that says that these people, through some fashion, maybe not socially in terms of the empirically verifiable bigotry that you see in terms like the white and color, that's not what it is. It's always a situation to where at some point niggas always have to get left out. You have to get left out because the whole society is structured and based upon you being at the bottom. I think it was Lyndon Johnson who said that if you tell a white man that he is better than a black one, he will go. You won't have to steal from him. You can go in his pocket and he will give you his money. So I say that to say that this a kind of informal
God dog it.
or another must always be at the bottom. They must always be in
Oh, the white man is holding you back again. Hit your unmute yourself, Maceo. It did it again. Ah, I know, I know. Every now and then it chopped up with Maceo, but I know y'all got the gist of what he was saying. And this is, you know, the reasoning behind what I'm saying right now is because we're assuming that people are going to change every generation. We're not willing to accept that these people are not going to change in every generation. We're looking for altruism from people um, that doesn't exist. We're looking for benevolence in a group that never has shown benevolence. We're looking for honesty and fairness in a country that has never had honesty and fairness. And I think
I think that we really don't understand how America works. We don't understand how it works. We don't understand how it functions. We're always trying to appeal to someone's sympathy instead of their
that's not me muting you, Maceo, just so you know. You start talking and then they just mute you. I don't know what the hell going on with that. Wait a minute. He gonna bounce out and bounce back in. But that wasn't me. I know you know that, but I'm just saying. Well, I hope you know that. But he's right. You know, we're trying to have this country appeal to something. If we do this, it'll change. Oh, if you pull yourself up by your bootstrap, it'll be different. We went down that experiment road. No, it won't. You know, if you become if you become involved in the political system in the country, and it'll be different. Be the change from the inside. Chill out, Pablo. He gonna be back. Hopefully, he be back. Well, I'll be on his because I owe Maceo. I definitely owe him. I was tripping. I keep forgetting shit. But what winds up happening is, get involved in politics in the system. I'm not saying not to do these things, but what I'm saying is we've done those things. You know, become inventors and create businesses in the community. You can, yeah, absolutely. Mahogany, I got you, Shug. Maceo probably gonna come back on. If he don't, I'm gonna put this link in the chat for Mahogany. You know, you know. So this is for Mahogany Roots and MJ. Honey, what's up, Tim? Jerome, what's popping? My bad. Fossil, what's up? You know, I understand that. I got you, Maceo. It's all good. You know, um, but we got to start accepting this stuff as what it is, not for anybody else's peace of mind, but for our own peace of mind. Because I think when we start accepting people for what we start accepting America for what it is, it's easier on us to deal with it. What's going on, Mahogany?
Hey, L.A.R, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Hi, everybody in the chat. I just, I hope I am not interrupting, but this whole thing is just, I kind of came in at the tail end, so you guide me. But I think the issue with a lot of us is that we see it as like we just don't, I think a lot of us just feel like it's safer to be kind of blind. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you see it, but you convince yourself that it's not what you're seeing. Um, I was going to give you an example. Now my mind just went blank. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, oh,
Because
mute your background, shit.
oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Let me see.
Um, well, the YouTube part, not that StreamYard, but
I
you
don't
know,
think. Okay, I'll just get out of it altogether. Is that better?
good. Check, 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 check.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
um,
it's like we treat America like like a family member. You know, like we have certain family members that we don't like, we don't mess with.
right.
We're not supposed to be messing with, but because we family, we still messing with them.
Right. Even though
And
they didn't show their evil way.
right. So we treat America like that family member instead of being like some of us who like, I don't care if we related or not. I'm not messing with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's that's why I'm like we just unwilling to just say, you know what? I get the point. I get the
Mm-hmm.
point. You don't this country. You got no love for me. You got no love for us. It's a dog and pony show. You've always shown your negative side towards me. So you know what? I'm checking out of this. I don't know. I don't want to be around nowhere. I'm not gonna.
Right.
I'm gonna give you
A,
what you want.
a lot of us too are just so afraid. And I'm talking from my own experience, not me, but I've seen it where they're so afraid to offend. I think we personalize things. And let's say this cop, for instance, we have white friends. We're so afraid to say something negative about another white person because, oh, we're afraid we're going to offend our friends. Um, that's what I feel. We had a conversation about this at work, and it came up, and someone said in the meeting, oh, well, they didn't feel comfortable talking about this because I just feel like a lot of Black folks are just so afraid to say anything because they're afraid that they're going to offend their coworkers or they're going to offend their friends. And it's at some point, listen, if they can't understand how wrong this is, they're really not your friends to begin with. Anybody can see how wrong what's going on. Like, anybody can see it. So
Well,
uh-huh.
I'm gonna say something.
Go ahead.
I don't know. That's me doubling, whatever. But I don't think a lot of us. You know how we have conversations with somebody and they say, you know what? Um, if this person keeps using you, that's what they're gonna do. That's what they're supposed to do. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's one of those. But it's it's kind of the underlying thing is, do you really think that's what they're supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you mean to tell me they'll do this as long, they'll take your kindness as a hustle as long as you be kind to them. That's what they'll do. Because
Right.
that's what they're supposed to do. And the people who believe that, don't see anything wrong with that until it stops.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Until it stops. Hold
Mm-hmm.
up. Who this? Who this?
Oh, okay. You guys,
Hold on.
I just wanted to hop up
No,
here.
it was just gonna be me and you. Unless it was Maceo. Who is this? I can't even see the
Oh,
whole name.
my bad, L.A.R. This 1247, the great one, man.
What's
My
going
bad.
on?
I was going to jump in, but if it ain't for me, I'll jump off.
No, I just came up to just say what's up. I've been dying to get on the L.A.R. show, but I don't want to take over. I enjoy from the chat, so I'm gonna get back in the chat. But thank you for letting me up here, L.A.R.
All right, then, Mahogany. Go ahead, 1247. Because I had said it was for Mahogany, so I don't sweat it. She going, so all right, it's all love.
It's all good, bro. But yeah, as far as your topic, yeah, bro. I think Black America doesn't. I don't think blacks. To me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Black America is still in the Stone Age, bro. I think Black America is still in the Civil Rights movement. I don't think we have moved on from the '60s, if you ask me honestly.
Yeah, I
So it's
don't.
like, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You got it, fam. My bad. My bad.
No, it's just we still stuck in the civil rights, even though that was to me like Black America still revels in that, and it doesn't know, and we don't know really how to move forward from that. So it's like whatever we have done since then is not really relevant because everything goes back to 68 and 66 and things of that nature.
Yeah, it's problematic because I don't know if we're stuck in civil rights, but I know we're stuck in the idea that other people have some type of good in them as a collective group. And I just don't see that as possible. You know.
That yeah, and it's I guess like the black community is like a hopeful romantic, if that makes sense. Black community is like a hopeful romantic, like we hope and pray that this thing will turn around, especially the brothers. We're hoping and praying that this thing possibly turns back around and everything's gonna be peaches and cream. But as you can see, I mean, half a century, nothing has changed. So yeah, we're disillusioned.
You know, and I give us, you know, in some ways I do give us credit because since the civil rights movement, that's about almost 60 years ago.
Right.
So I say in the last 120 years, we've tried everything possible to see if this was going to be fair. To see if we was gonna to see if everything that was said is somebody's actually gonna hold their word. And the truth is, they haven't. So I'm trying to figure out like why we, you know, at this particular point even believing that like everything about this country isn't about us. The Constitution don't mean nothing to us. The Bill of Rights don't mean nothing when it comes to us. You know what I'm saying? The if you work hard in America, you'll succeed. That don't work for us. You know.
True, and I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say that is more for the brothers, for the productive black man. Yes. Now for the Pookie and Ray Ray, let me go back. So to me, the black community consists of the Pookie and Ray Rays and the women and children. The productive black man really has nothing to do with America whatsoever, besides them taking from us, them taking our ideas, them taking our talents and everything and use it for their good. So it's like the productive black man versus America, which including the black community, which includes, like I said, the Pookie and Ray Rays, the women and children. So it's like us versus them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing about it is, even with that within us, part of the reason why we have these subclasses within the class is because of America cutting people off at the knees who do have great ideas, who do have great businesses and business plans, and do have great products. So, you know, this country don't mind Pookie and Ray Ray working for, you know, like we live in a country that the government is in on the drug trade. And it took the country 30, 40 years to admit it. As if it's the irony of it is they'll say, oh yeah, we got into the drug trade during the civil rights movement in Vietnam, but they've never said that they've ever stopped.
Nah, it's for a particular agenda, and we know what that agenda was about. So I mean, you know, you got to destroy the strongest and the brightest. So it makes sense. So there's been attack after attack after attack. A lot of this stuff has been combined, and the thing is, everybody's benefiting off of our downfall. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, you know, the crack epidemic, the sisters join up with the government. So it's been one thing it's been compounded after compound. So it really hasn't stopped. It's just we've gotten kind of stronger. So it's like we're the Jolly Green Giant now. Like they've still been beating us for all this time, but it doesn't sting as much. So I guess we kind of gotten used to the whoopings, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that's the other thing. Like two things I'm gonna put into this. I don't think that they get rid of the strongest and the brightest. What I think is when I look at history, they steal from the brightest. And how can I put this? And they use the strongest to help them facilitate what's been going on. Because when it comes to the brightest, if you get rid of the brightest, you don't have a country. If they got rid of the smartest black men, this country wouldn't exist. If they got rid of the strongest black men, this country wouldn't exist. You know,
I got you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I look. That's my point of view. That's how I look at it from that.
Yeah, because I mean, you're right. Because everything that pertains to this country has been stolen anyway. I mean, let's be honest. We're on stolen land. This is not
Right.
this United States is a corporation. America is the continent. See, people don't even understand that concept. So it's like, well, everything this country is built off of is a lie. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a 200-something-year-old lie. So it's like, I mean, it's not going to get any better until just have to be a clear cut separation, if you ask me honestly.
You know, and for me, I'm like, it's more than one way to separate from people. I mean, we could move to a completely different place, or you could just stop messing with folks, or you could just cut people off mentally, like, you know, I'm done. Because we separate from people all the time that we've seen. You know, and you know, man, it's all good. Look, I like it with kids in the background. That's hilarious.
No. She's playing. Go.
I know.
I'll be back. Go ahead. Yeah, but no, it's just you know what I'm saying, because I even have my little ones here. It's just, to me, like I said, my this littlest one is 3, my oldest one is 5. It's like, and they're both girls. So the thing is, it's up to me to put the reality in them. You know what I'm saying? Even though, yeah, you see little kids doing this, that, and the third, but listen, there's American reality and there's your reality. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what a lot of Black Americans don't get. It's like, okay, well, yeah, we're all in the same kind of gumbo. No, you're not. It's
What up,
like
George?
Go ahead.
No, I got you. I see George in here. I'm gonna drop the link for you, George, just in case. You know, because I do that. You know, but like what you just said, like when I think about us as a people, we tell my parents and my grandparents told me what America was. And what I never thought about until I became an adult is, what are other people's parents and grandparents telling them about America, and then subsequently telling them about us?
True.
Because as much as other people say we're the problem, because other groups say we're the problem in America, wow, they're creating every problem in America.
Right.
So, because I look at, like, okay, so if we're the most criminal people in America, then that means the cartels are not criminals like us. That means that the mafia is not criminals like us. That means all the because mafia, we think of Italian and people have understand Irish and Jewish, which, you know, Italian, Irish, and Jewish all considered white, but Italian and Irish was made systematically white 90 years ago, 80, 90 years ago. Mm-hmm. So we got groups of white folks who they're not criminals for some odd reason. They're not a threat to anybody. You know, the threat is the guy on the corner more than the guy in the mafia, the guy in the KKK, the guy in the triad, the guy in the Yakuza, the guy, you know, this, that, and the third. It makes no sense to me. But you know, we don't accept the fact that, okay, all these other people could be criminals. That's acceptable in their culture. We're to blame for their criminal behavior.
Right. It was like everything is about the black. Yeah, it's like, why is everything focused always on us? It could be terrorism in Iran that somehow points right back to the black man. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, they're bombing in England, but the black man, I'm like, hold up, how does the black man the blame for everything, bro? That doesn't even make sense.
I'm gonna get back to the 10-minute rule speech, but I'm gonna do this for a while, you know. But I just wanted to tell them that, you know, whoever stay life is sloppy toppy, that's cold blooded. But I know people do that, you know. But like, as you were saying, you know what? Let me shut up real quick. George, you got it, fam.
Hey, give me like 2 minutes. I'm walking back to my house. It's too loud. Give me like 2 minutes.
You got it. I think we become, you know, because I used to clown about this from time to time, and I'll bring it up on the low from time to time. You know, I don't watch TV like that. I don't really watch movies like that, but every now and then I do, just to, you know, entertainment. And the one thing that always strikes me is I like action movies. And when I look at action movies, I brought it up before. If you put somebody black in the normal American action movie, it wouldn't like. I like John Wick. If John Wick was black, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work because you can't go around killing that many people being black. Just wouldn't work. If all the Avengers was black, it wouldn't work because you just can't blow up a whole city with a bunch of black folks, and just walk off and never get in trouble, never get arrested. If Superman was black, it wouldn't work. If Batman was black, it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? If Rambo was black, it wouldn't work. Especially like the first one, you can't just run off into the woods as a black dude, killing people who hunting you breaking out of jail, and then you got 3, 4, 5 sequels. Just wouldn't work. And I realized, we're unwilling to accept that America is is one of those places where we're having we got a lot of people who don't get it to the point where everything, how can I say this properly? Anarchy is fair game with every other group of people in this country but us. See, you don't see the police shooting rubber bullets at the people who show up to the state capitol, and even when Umar said this, with rifles. When other people protest, you don't. When Asians was protesting about wanting that cop to get off for killing that brother in New York, you didn't see them tear gas. You didn't see them shot with rubber bullets. You didn't see all of that.
I got a question.
What's up?
With all of that being said, right? Mm-hmm. All the stuff that we know, all the stuff the pro-black community talks about, all the stuff that our ancestors complained about, right? Mm-hmm. And not even complained for it and died for it. Now we've heard white football players and white people in general talk about the flag when people was kneeling for the flag. They said it was a disrespect to the flag because their grandparents and them fought in wars, right? As if ours didn't fight in wars, right? Mm-hmm. We even got images and pictures of black men being hung in their uniforms after coming from war, but they they don't like to mention that. So we have images of us being hoes. We have images of us being shot. We have, like I said, we're portrayed as gangsters and thugs and less than's, but in movies, they use white people to be the killers, like John Wicks. So if we know that, right, this is a question to everybody in the chat room listening. I want y'all to really think about this. How come we haven't forced white people to have a psychological evaluation? How is it that in America we allow white people, after everything that we know that they did to us, to be our judges, to be our school teachers, to be our district attorneys, to be our employers? White people have never had a psychological evaluation to see if they're deemed worthy to govern black people based off the racial historical accounts in this country. So everything we do on the fly in the hopes that we're treated right. What type of way is that living? So now, if L.A.R. gets into an argument with a white guy outside of a store, and he pushes you, how I know if that's not a federal hate crime? Because he may have had racial intention when he did it. We never know the mind of a white man. See, they always psychological evaluating us based off of them, but they're not psychologically evaluated. Who's to say that your supervisor at your job ain't a racist? America rears whites to be racist and rears us to be subordinate.
I'm sorry, George.
White people never been psychologically evaluated to prove that they was deemed worthy of governing black people. So when the Civil Rights Amendment and everything was signed, and they saying we're going into this racial utopia, it's been a colossal failure. So now when we're talking about reparations, we're talking about getting policies pushed. Who are the people that's going to be writing up these policies? And who's the judge that's going to be presiding over the policy? How can we trust any of that?
We got to create our own, George.
That's my point.
The crazy part about it is, I definitely agree with what you just said. When I'm thinking about it, like when I deal with people who are not black, I have a tendency to tell them what I expect them to do. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by I expect them to do, I'm like, okay, if I'm dealing with, if I'm in a situation where I got to deal with you and you're not black, I know you're gonna try to do some underhanded stuff at some point. If I can't figure out a way to not deal with you and I gotta deal with you, now I'm gonna just let you. Okay, just tell me the goofy shit you finna do, because I know you're gonna do it. And then and for some odd reason that throws people off because it's like I'm here handling business. I'm like, no, you're not. If I go to a courtroom for anything, yeah, you finna try to throw the book at me for some extra shit. So what is it this time? If I get pulled over, okay, you gonna give me a ticket or you can't give me a ticket with holding your gun. So which one is it we gonna do? You gonna give me a ticket or you gonna shoot me? Which one we doing?
So let me say this then. So with us knowing that, right, and us we get upset, we move, we march, we do all of that, right? My thing is if we're not willing, because even the educated lane brothers, you still go to these colleges, these institutions that's controlled by them. They're used to telling you what to do, when to do, how to do it, how to dress, how to talk, how to behave. What is the standard of behavior and code of conduct? That's all created by white men. So what I'm saying is, but when do we stop and say, okay, you know what? I'm asking for rights, but wait a minute. Who deemed you psychologically fit to give me rights? Why can we never ask that question? That's the $1 million question. So if there's going to be sensitivity training, or who's doing the training? Who says that he's fit to train somebody to be more sensitive towards black people? What I'm saying is racism is systematic. It's in the mental fabric of America. You're not going to eradicate it. It has to be severe punishment. It has to be severe punishment on books that will take away money, like or something like that, for people to the point where I'm gonna tell you how you start fixing a problem. If white people really want to move forward, based off of what happened to us historically for the last 401 years, 200 something years of slavery, and the 200 something years of mental slavery that we've been through. If you get caught, discriminating against a black person, or you get caught harming a black person in any manner, it should be a federal hate crime, because because there's no way to determine. There's no way to determine the mentality of white folks, because they're in too much power. They're in too much power psychologically and economically. So now we're not going to get things done in that favor, then we might as well just don't even complain, because you can't let the white people who's not psychologically fit create the laws to treat you better.
I'm gonna say something, and in chaos, you got it. I look at America from this aspect, and I look at dealing with all groups who are non-black in America from this aspect also. And sometimes power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Once we get to the point where we understand that the people who are in power are absolutely corrupt, it changes your whole outlook on the situation. And when I say the people who are quote unquote in power, I also mean the people who look like the people in power who are not in those power positions, because they know they benefit off of those people that look like them in those positions. So these, you morally, psychologically, verbally, this country has no ethics. You can't. When I said that America is double-minded, it's absolutely double-minded. Because if this, what's up, Ultimate Black Man? What's going on? Thank you, fam. Man, I appreciate it. When this country can make a rule, because we're adults. If this country says, okay, this is the rule, and you go, okay, oh, this is the rule, but this rule is different for you. Well, how the hell you just said this is the rule, but you're gonna say it's different for me? All men are created equal. The fact that we look at the Constitution that says all men are created equal while our ancestors were in bondage, we should know this country is completely retarded.
Elliot, I'm gonna jump back on in like 20 minutes. I'm gonna jump on.
Fam. Chaos, you got it, fam. Chaos, you there? Uh-oh. Well, unmute yourself when you're ready. Yeah. I know.
Can you hear me? Wait, I'm gonna say he did.
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
I know you're still talking about this, L.A.R. Right now I'm waiting to see what outcome comes out of this. Cause I heard that man is about to get 40 years potentially. But I gotta see how the outcome, what people do now, because it's the same thing all over again. It's like the same hamster wheel. What I'm viewing right now from my end. That's what I'm gonna say for right now.
See, like when I saw Keith Ellison on the thing, and I saw they bumped up the charges, and I saw they're gonna charge the other 3 officers. The immediate thing that came to me was, let me see these jurors. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Even, and this is what I mean by I accept America as it is. If Keith Ellison is able to put these guys away and give, that doesn't, if he can get a guilty on all 4 of the cops, and the jury could give a guilty on all 4 of the cops, and they send all 4 of the cops maximum sentence, that don't mean the judge won't overturn it. That doesn't mean the judge won't be like, you know what, I think that's too harsh. So that's one thing about it. The other thing about it is, if he gets them prosecuted and it goes all through the legal system, which personally I feel like they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. That's just what it is. But what I also know is there's going to have quote unquote Americans like, you see what happens when we put them in positions. Look how they treat us on a murder trial. Just understand they yeah, you got it.
No. I hear exactly what you're saying. To me, I don't think that's really going to change anything as far as our conditions and things of that nature. Because it's like people going to complain. The thing is, there has to be a repercussion for America for doing the things that they do to us. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no repercussions. Like, okay, well, yeah, we give a max this, that, and the third. But it's like, okay, everything goes back to normal. To me, if the Black community has to have a repercussion type system to punish America for doing the things that they're doing to us, and there's nothing in place for that, because it's gonna be the same thing, this, that, and the third. To me, listen, hit them where the pocket hurts. Listen, hey, it goes back to the celebrities and stuff. Because they're another group of people. Because to me, the celebrities ain't part of the Black community. These people are always speaking for us, but they're really not part of the Black community. So if LeBron James, hey LeBron, we come to LeBron, hey bro, listen, we don't want none of y'all playing basketball. We don't want none of y'all playing football. None of y'all acting. Can't, if you down with that, yay or nay. But that's a whole different thing. But
I'm gonna say something. BMT was popping. I'm gonna say something, and I don't know if y'all know this. Like I'm into animations and whatnot, animes. One of my and cartoons. I've always been like this since I was a kid. One of my favorite cartoons of all time is the Avatar, the first one, not the one with the second one with Korra, the first one. And the Avatar is basically like a racial story. You know what I mean? But if anybody's ever watched it, when I look at America, the embodiment of America would be the Fire Nation, if people understand what that means. But the embodiment of America is also Azula. And if you never seen the cartoon, Azula was the princess. She was strong as hell. She was gonna wind up being the empress when the father died, but she was mentally cracked up.
Oh yeah, she was a crazy bitch.
And she could, like, her brother wound up getting kind of exiled. Her brother and her uncle got exiled, but they were mentally more stable than she was. So what winds up happening was the more life got out of normalcy for her, the more nutty she got. The more her community started cracking up and people started turning on her community and people started not rocking with her people no more, she lost it. She went from person who was damn near unbeatable to she beat herself because she couldn't mentally wrap her head around the fact that, I'm no longer top dog in the world. And this, in my opinion, is what's happening to America. That's why I say America's Azula, because the people who are considered American, who America's quote unquote made for, they're losing the numbers battle for one. And they're also losing, and they lost the financial battle. And when we think about the United States military, though it's a lot of white people in the military, the military is way more integrated than they hoped, because they can't really, just in my opinion, they really can't just go out and just ride on one particular community because they got too many other people in their ranks. So it's like, this joint is I'm gonna get back to that later. BMT, you got it.
I think one of the things about it, and that's a very well put when you went off the Avatar. I gotta be honest, black people, you don't got no way to punish America. I'm sorry, you ain't got no way to punish America. They if anything, they will hurt you more than you hurt them. But you're too integrated in them. So I mean, you just don't have no way to punish them unless you started doing things. I mean, what are you gonna say? Well, we're gonna stop playing NFL. Okay, I promise you, there'll be some kids in the hood that would gladly take them NFL player spots. So they'll be like, well, fuck y'all, I'm taking their spots. So let's not pretend to play the game that if somebody had a fair shot at the NBA or the NFL or any kind of said grab of wealth or a record deal, they're not going to take it. So we can't feel like, I mean, this is just, you got to have something worth, you got to have something worth putting up for the collateral. It's got, that's just the ways of the laws of nature. You got to, unless you're willing to give up your humanity, and that's what the white man was willing to do, rape, pillage, kill, and do all kinds of set stuff and give up his humanity, then, I mean, then you're just talking. And so when we look at other people who come over here, they know that I'm going to have to scratch and scrape and do some stuff to get to where I am. And as black people, that's something that not everybody's willing to do. You understand? It's funny how you talk about the Avatar, but they the farther they got, the closer they got to the final season, they started losing people, friends, and different things. They had to start taking some losses to understand what it was going to take to get the win. And so you got to start asking yourselves, what are you willing to put on the line to get that said big win? How much money you want to put up? How much faith do you truly have in your brother like that? Like, can you honestly say, I trust brother L.A.R. like that? Or hell nah, man, I can't trust him because he joined up with a coalition I don't know nothing about. See, it's all said and good so long as I don't have nothing to lose. If I don't got nothing that I got to put up to lose. But when it comes time to actually putting something up that you can lose, that can affect you or set you back, no. That's but we understand why, because we have done that before. That's how we got the talk of the boule, the 10%, the ones that literally we believed that they were going to do right by us, and they said, "The hell with y'all, I'm out." So we do have that said trust issue in the community, but now it doesn't have to be like, it could just be like, yo, let's just put in some money on this. It's gonna be that walk of faith, but are you willing to do it or not? You can't just say, I want America to do this, but America gonna be like, well, what do you have to give? This is a country where you gotta sacrifice something to gain something. You don't bet. If you ain't betting nothing, don't ask for nothing. So that's just how the game is gonna be played now. These white folks going out here and doing all this crazy shit, but they're not banking and putting their shit on the line. Black folks, you have stuff that you got to be willing to put on the line. And I know it sound like a shitty deal, but it's like those Terminator movies. You're on your final mission. Everybody ain't coming back. So who's willing to run up on Skynet? That's the question you got to ask. All right, I'll go ahead, Pastor Mike.
You got it. I mean, personally, I just want us to accept this country the way it is, the way it's always has been. Like I'm tired of the idea that maybe this time is going to be different. You don't do that with anybody in your life. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that with anybody in your. And as a matter of fact, I take that back. When you do that with people in your life, and you know who they are and their nature, what do they say? You know who you're dealing with. I don't know why you thought they was going to change.
Right.
My issue is like, why do we keep thinking this country's gonna change? If I don't have a problem with the protests, cool. Integrate into the system, the fight against the system, cool. Try to work with people, cool. But if that's what you're gonna do, could you at least accept who you're working with?
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. But but see, that's a fantasy. That goes back to what we were saying before. That fantasy that we have as Black Americans. And thing is, I think the brothers get it more than the women. See, the women are totally integrated. Like they're in it. See, us brothers, we on the outside looking in like, damn, they, you know what I'm saying? Because they get, remember, there's perks for them. There's no perks for brothers at all. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
So
but
go ahead.
fam, when I saw a video of a protest and the police was standing on one side in the formation, and it was two dudes in front of them, crumping.
Oh yeah,
That's
why.
God.
Yeah, that's clowning now. See, they go keep playing that and be like, see, this is what these people are about. This is why I'm saying there needs to be a separation within there needs to be a separation within the so-called Black community, bro. Because that was uncalled for. Why are you crumping in front of people that's ready to do war?
Like I'm looking at it like this ain't one of those things where it's like Samoans do the little dance before the war. It's a dance before they go to war. These dudes out there just put that move on you.
Yeah, you look stupid. Like
this is not a Chris Brown video, bro. Like,
no, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, okay, that's a joke. But now when I see him, oh boy, and that's one of the creators of the crump. I'm like, okay, but bro, why this man? It's like what? How many people? Like 10 of them, 12 of them, ready to go to battle. If you cross the line, and you gonna sit there and do the Holy Ghost, the spin move, like, bro, like I said, bro, we are a joke in a sense. Because I think you said it yesterday, dog. Listen, it's time to go to war, and it's time to do artsy stuff. You can't do the art stuff in war. That doesn't make sense. Like, bro, why would you sit there and dance? If you're gonna have some type of machete or a bat with them, okay, cool. But you're gonna sit there and do a crump dance? Like, what are we? Like, this is street theater, dog. What's going on?
See, like for me, it's just it's the subtle things. Like if you're willing to, if you're willing to accept America the way it is, you'll be able to accept the subtle things. Like I don't have when people think of when I talk about race and racial issues or racial experiences. In some ways, I definitely get angry about things, but in certain ways, I'm just detached because I'm expecting it from people. You got it.
No, it's just I think. To me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think as far as us, we have morals like ingrained in us, and everybody else doesn't. Because it's like we're operating on two different systems. It's like see, the Black America is operating on this honor system. You know what I'm saying? Like you honor this and don't leave anybody behind, and you do is we help each other out, this, that, and the third, and everybody else is coming in like, now we coming to get ours. So the thing is, we got to switch mindsets. It's like, listen, it's wartime. You know what I'm saying? It's no kumbaya, and ain't fix it, Jesus. It's like, listen, we got to get to if this is going to keep happening, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, we got to make adjustments. We got to make adjustments quickly because once again, I mean, how many brothers need to die? I mean, we had the whole world marching for the brothers.
See, when brothers talk about red pill and black pill, I might say something that's red pill and black pill about America. Do you know, in one of my opinions, the reason why a lot of these young folks are like, oh man, I feel where y'all coming from, is because they got student loan debt. Because their parents are broke now, and they gonna be broke now. And they know that their numbers are dwindling. Do I think some of these people who are non-black have good intentions and good hearts? Yeah. Do I think the majority of them are like that? Absolutely not. Because when this is over, they're gonna do something on the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Just
and
like
I think go ahead. I'm sorry.
You got it. I'm sorry. That's
no, I was just thinking. I think, to me, I'll put everybody. I don't care where you come from, bro. I don't care where you come from on this planet. If you're here in America, to me, it seems like everybody, all these immigrants that come here, take the mind of the United States, and black people are in some type of limbo. We're in some type of hypnosis funk. I don't know what we doing, but it's like everybody comes in to get theirs. I'm coming to get mine. I'm coming to get mine. And black people are kind of like spinning. We're in this constant hypnosis thing, and I don't know how if the majority of us, if the few of us that have snapped out of it, I think we're gonna have to separate and kind of just do our own thing. I mean, yes, me personally.
You know, I think the group of us who are so like I want the best out of America, they're gonna be the ones that actually bring this country way more smoke than people intended to have. Because when those people get to the point where you know what, these people ain't gonna never change. See, that's like when those people get to that point, it's not gonna be no more country. It's just not. Are we down by number? Yeah, but it's not gonna be no more country. You know, and that's what like as black like people are unwilling to accept all this. You know, kumbaya. I gotta be nice. What we gonna do? All we gotta really do is just accept what America is. Like when we start to, like I've had friends and family. If you got a friend or family member who's a liar, and then once you accept that they're a liar, you make them very uncomfortable. If you got a friend or family member that's a thief, and you accept them as a thief, you make them very uncomfortable. You know, if we America is quote unquote our dysfunctional, America is racist. If we accept that our family member is racist, we're gonna make it very uncomfortable. And I'm not talking about going places and be like, you profiling me because you black. No, I'm talking about going places and be like, all right, look, do you gonna be on that bullshit when I go in, or you need to be on that bullshit right before I hit the door, or should I just go home? What's up?
That too. Can I ask you a question? Me ask you a
Yeah,
question. Do you think the black community needs to be more exclusive
yeah.
as far as the things that we create, the things that we constantly keep coming up with on a daily basis? Do you think that we need to be more like listen, you can't get the dance moves, you can't get the artsy stuff, you can't get the basket, you can't get that. Like, do you think America would survive if of the black community was more exclusive?
I think if the black community just what's up, Taz? Don't you start that shit. you know, I think if our community was more exclusive, this country will crumble. See, I don't think this country has it together like people think. I think it's smoke and mirror. Pablo, I got you. I think it's smoke and mirror because this so much of this country went broke in 2 months. How? If we're the richest, most powerful country in America, how did so many people go broke within 2 months? And I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about businesses. How? You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. You got it. Go ahead, Pablo. I got you.
Yeah, man. I think you really onto something with this conversation, this topic. I think I said this earlier on another panel that you have to understand why Europeans colonized America, right? And the cultural forces that drove them to do so versus the cultural forces that drove Africans to consent and engage in the slave trade. All right. So I'm gonna run this down for you. So in Europe at the time, they were suffering from famine, uh, sickness, disease, uh, lack of clean water. Do you know why they drank tea all the time? They drank tea all the time because you couldn't drink the water, right? They had to heat it up, boil it, sweeten it, make it taste, palatable, and then drink it, right? That's how you
Yeah,
had the
they're throwing the
Boston,
people in the river. My
See,
bad.
yeah,
let,
that's how
let
you
me
had the
let me
Boston Tea Party and all that kind of stuff, right? But meanwhile, in Africa, the land was fertile. There's plenty of water. You can fish and not even use, uh, not even use apparatus to catch them. Put your hand in the water and grab one, right? This is how plentiful the land was, and it was so populated, right, that the warring and competing tribes could grab up, their neighbors or enemies, and send them away and barely miss them.
now let me add to that, Pablo. And this is what I mean by accepting America. There will be the reason why we have this country, in my opinion, is because the white people from back in the day were so lazy that they'd rather kill a person than do some work. That's the basics of this country. You know what? Did these people come here and learn how to farm? How did you need to be taught how to farm when you came here? When you come from a country that you can farm in? Because you're lazy. How do you become? Yeah, you got it.
Not only that, L.A.R., did you know that they chose specific tribes and nations of Africans to do specific work because they were skilled in it, like the growing of rice and the raising of cattle? Did you know that Texas, where they raise predominantly cattle and cattle herding and all that, they imported the most slaves from a particular tribe called the Fulani, who were and are to this day nomadic herdsmen.
That's the this is what I mean. Like all these systems in America are not systems that came up from white hands or white minds. And we got, when we're willing to accept that, people think, oh man, if the black folks leave, it'll be just fine. Let me explain something to you. If all the people of all different races just left this country and left white people here, they'd be dead in 6 months. See, people don't, like y'all act like these people actually work. They still don't work to this day. When you talk about who's building the infrastructure, who's building the roads and the buildings, them ain't white folks. You see a foreman and you see a bunch of Mexicans. So the Mexicans are building America now. Who's doing the agriculture? It's really Mexicans and doing that. So, when we talk about tech, who's taking over tech? Asians.
Indians.
Yeah. So that's a fact. It's like we're looking at this country by putting it on some kind of pedestal that, oh man, look, you know what I'm saying? We need this and we need that. We're behind technologically as a group of people.
Now, let me add this right here real quick, and this was my final point. People, the colored peoples of the world, not just specifically people of African descent, but Asians as well as Indians and the Native American populations, they revered life. They valued life. The European valued power and conquest over life. That is the major cultural difference between us and them. Right? And once you understand,
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, Paulo, because that's one of the things that I don't think we're people who are concerned with power. And and people might think it's a silly thing, but I think fundamentally, as far as heart wise and soul wise, I think we think power is stupid. The way that America sees power or Europeans see power, I think we think that's foolish.
We're not driven by it. You're right. I'm not saying we don't want it or want resources. We don't crave it like that.
Yeah, we don't. It's not one of those things that, ooh, I got the power to blah blah blah. Because truth be told, and I'm gonna just say this about my people, as far as black people. The one thing I do know about us, we taking these ass whippings, knowing that we could beat the brakes off of these people
at any time.
And I think, I think we've got so accustomed to taking these ass whippings, like, That's
what I'm saying. Like the Jolly Green Giant, they keep beating you, but you got so used to the whippings, you just taking it. It's like your mama beating you if you're like 17 years old. It's like, Mom, why are you whipping me, Mom? Like, what are you doing? Like, didn't I tell you, like, she get the belt out? You looking at her like, yo, that don't hurt no more.
That don't do nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the black community.
And to a degree, we just get. I look at us like, man, look, let's just accept, this country, please. Like for once, just get on TV. Because when I saw Ahmaud Arbery's mother, that made me happy. When the mother was like, I want the death penalty, I don't want him to that. The minute I saw that, I was like, you know what? It changed. That's what made me think we started to change, because we're not like people like, I'm not even trying to hear that. I'm not even trying to hear your excuses. Because we've, as Black Americans, we've given America too many excuses.
Sure.
To the point we're letting people give them, but I think we've reined back on giving excuses in the present, because I'm hearing more non-Black people make up excuses for people because we're not doing it. Maybe it's because I ain't trying to hear that. Maybe it's I don't want to hear that. You know.
And one more thing as it relates to like policing and law enforcement and all that. One of the things I see out here, and this is one of the reasons you see a lot of these white people kind of joining in this thing, is that it used to be a time, let's say when I was in elementary school, you could issue out corporal punishment to a kid, right?
Right.
You could spank them with the paddle and pull off your belt. And if you were on the football team, the coach could grab you by your helmet and sling you around and do all kinds of rough and aggressive tactics in dealing with you. Well, this is a new time. And what is happening is Black people and America in general is looking at law enforcement and saying, we're not submitting to this kind of aggression anymore.
I've said this numerous times in the past, and I'm gonna say it today just to put it on the record again. In my opinion, one of the reasons why America is so scared of Black men is sports, because they realize
the power. Yeah,
you see it, and then but people realize something like, what about all the people who were just like this but didn't make it here?
Oh yeah.
What about like? Because when I look at sports now, I look at like, okay, and especially the more physical the sport, the easier we are. Like we've run groups of people out of sports. People don't even realize the only reason baseball is even the way it is because they ran us out of baseball
and imported Latin players into place.
Right, but they took away the little leagues from us. So that way you don't even have that.
So we had our home leagues at one point. We was killing them. They was coming to our leagues and recruiting our people for their leagues. Because wasn't nobody going to those to see all white people play baseball?
But you got to remember, like in the 80s and 90s, if you was around in the 80s and 90s, I don't care where you were, I can guarantee you your friends didn't play baseball. It started decreasing that your friends was playing baseball. In the 80s, they was playing baseball. In the 90s, it started tapering off. In the 90s, they made baseball the same way they do basketball now. Will make with the AAU and the international game. That's the same thing that they're doing. They price you out of it. They price us out of it and make a bunch of rules. I'm just saying, like, we need to accept this country for what it, because the minute they see us, they like, because I'm not the only Black man who sees who goes out in public and sees people who are non-Black trying to size me and other brothers up. I'm not the only one that sees that.
Think about this when you made that baseball reference. Before McGuire and Sosa had that home run, what was Barry Bonds doing? You ain't never heard of him.
No, he was still one of the top.
Yeah, he was there.
Baseball players of all time.
Yeah, he was still there.
Right. And once he got wind that they was cheating,
but
what happened when he got a dose?
One of my best friends, he loves baseball, and me and him would have this baseball conversation every night. And I don't like baseball like that, but I'm like, it ain't cheating. He's like, how it ain't cheating? Because the commissioner made steroids legal. Remember? That's how that shit started.
Right. It wasn't a banned substance. You're right.
He made it legal when they figured out it was a banned substance. He kept it going. He didn't care. See, it only became an issue when Barry Bonds said, because I remember Barry Bonds saying that, like, if y'all gonna let them take it, I could take it too. What's the problem?
He did. Yeah.
So when he started taking it, you made one of the greatest players of all time, quote unquote, and he was already a hitter. People seem to forget that. Barry Bonds,
he didn't need it, but he had it. Yeah.
You know, he was already a Hall of Famer like 8 years in it. So, like, this is what I mean about this country, as in, we need to accept that what works for this country don't work for us because they're going to change the rules for us.
Yeah. Agree.
You know, all of this, we're gonna come together. I don't believe these people. We're gonna come. I think we're gonna come together for the moment. That's what I believe about America. Because guess what? I crack up with all these non-black people quoting Martin Luther King. I don't know why. You don't like black people, so why are you quoting him? You quoting Malcolm X. I don't know why. You don't like black people. Why are you quoting him? Oh, you using affirmative action. I don't know why you don't like black people. You're a minority now. I don't know why you don't like black people. We're people of color. I don't know why, because when it's something that affects us, you always try to divert it to you. You don't like black people like that.
Yeah. And one thing, I'm going to cut you off. It's funny how everybody's somehow black now. Like, how is everybody black? Like, you come from this place. We're black. Like, does everybody share in our suffering? It's like everybody's black when it's good, but when something goes bad, then you're back to being whatever the hell you came from. It's like, how? And that's what I'm saying. It's like this word black is kind of diluted to me. It's like, yo, it's like double dutch. You jump in when it's good and you jump out when it's something crazy. And you jump back in and you want to do the dances and do what we do. And when something is the spotlight shine on us for something crazy, you jump back out and be whoever you want to be. So it's like the word black to me is it's a diluted word. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this and I'm not gonna stop, but I gotta go answer my door. And y'all could just have at it for like 2 or 3 minutes. No, because I got somebody coming over. What I like, and this is my opinion, this is what I like about some younger non-black people. They're not talking about us. They're talking about their group.
Right.
And what I'm seeing is, I really believe all these non-black people who are young are realizing, you know what? These people, they're not going to mess with us no more. And they got good goddamn reason. Older people keep playing this game where you need me more than I need you. And without realizing, that's not really the case.
It's reverse.
Yeah. It's the young people's time. It's their time. No doubt.
Y'all got it. Just give me 2 minutes.
But man, I'll say this. Let me say this about the civil rights movement. I think some people got it all the way fucked up about that. And that is this, especially Dr. King's situation. Dr. King absolutely, positively courted violence. Let me repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely, positively courted, welcomed, and put himself and his organizations and his people in the line of fire for violence. Now, they didn't pick up the rocks and the bricks and do all of that, but they knew Bull Connor would sick the dogs, pull out the fire hoses, wreak havoc on black people just exercising their rights. So in that sense, Martin Luther King absolutely courted violence and wanted to put it on your evening news. So the idea that, he was just docile and this and that, no, they knew they were going for a fight. The only difference is in that particular fight, they just decided we're going to make the other side look like boo-boo the fool rather than us. But no, violence was absolutely courted and a part of the strategy.
Yeah, it's smart because it made like you're right. On evening news, they were the aggressor. We weren't really passive, but we were. But it's like it shows the strength of the people that you're attacking. It's like, well, damn, you're hitting these people with all these different weaponry, and they're still standing.
Not only that, and they're not afraid to go out and meet it when they know it's coming.
Right. So that's why they demonize the Black Panthers. They messed that whole thing up. This is a terrorist group, this, that, and the third. No, they had so many different programs, but that's not ever talked about.
Yeah.
Oh, they were just a extremist group that just wanted to kill cops. Like, no, they killed you because you were attacking them. But that image is never painted about us. It's always we're the aggressors. Oh, Pookie's walking down the street. He's just gonna punch you in your face. Like, listen, remember that knockout game a couple years ago? The kids are playing.
Man, I'm back. You know what's the irony about that? I don't know how we always the aggressors to other people when we don't be around them like that. They act like they don't come to our neighborhoods like that. You get what I'm saying? Like this idea
me
that
doing it so that you can criticize me for it.
Like we don't go to other people's neighborhoods just stealing on folks like that. And the irony, what's up, like, and the irony of it is they don't come to our neighborhoods unless they're in uniform or creeping at night or asking for drugs. Let's just be honest.
That's true.
You know, so these like a lot of times I think just America is delusional. You know, Candace Owens, I mean, like, okay, so he was a criminal. Okay. Ironically, you know what? I can't wait for a person like Candace Owens to get pregnant. Because watch her views change. See, I don't have a problem with being a conservative. I don't have a problem with being a black conservative. What I do have a problem with, and I have a problem with the black conservatives who act like Candace Owens for one particular reason. They only see things black, not white.
Well, they don't see. They want to sweep the injustice under the rug for acceptance. That's the major problem with a Candace Owens. She wants to sweep the. I'm a conservative as well, but I know this: putting your knee on a man's neck for 8 minutes. There's nothing conservative about that.
Right.
Right.
But truthfully, I'm gonna put this one thing. I think that right, just showing that it kind of backfired a little bit because I don't know if they were thinking that the whole damn world was gonna back us up like that. Like that kind of surprised me because I'm like, whoa, like people over here and people over here. I'm like, bro, it blew me back, but it kind of made me smile. Like, wow, the brothers really got that type of influence like that? Like, even though we're demonized a lot of the time, but for people to really, it was Black Lives Matter. I mean, well, yeah, it is what it. I mean, it was standing for us anyways, but it was just for the world to kind of stand up for us like that. To me, it just rung bells to me. That made me see a bigger picture. Like, wow,
Yeah.
like that's kind of crazy.
And that's why I said it's the beginning of a cultural change where people are no longer willing to submit to that kind of authoritarian, you're going to do what I say because I say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pull you over in a traffic stop and I'm going to drag your ass out the car because I told you to get out and you didn't move when I said. They're not willing to submit to that for routine bullshit. The world is not going in that direction. And what is happening is our institutions are still in 1950, whatever. But the people aren't.
Like I watched, what was that? The Wonderful World of Whites in West Virginia on Amazon. You bust up laughing because
Oh my God. Yeah. That's some ratchet shit.
Not an irony, but ain't nobody, cops ain't never killed not one of them, did they? I don't think
they got guns aplenty.
And the whole family is career criminals.
Yeah. Hatfields and McCoys.
But
Hatfields and the McCoys.
This is, like I don't see, and what I might say, I hope I say it properly. I don't see racism as a problem in America because racism is going to be the undoing of America. And fine. Like I don't want to keep America rolling the way it's been because it ain't been rolling for us right. So if it's going to be the undoing of America, cool with me. Because when you said the people abroad are protest, they're not just protesting against because a black man got killed. Those same groups of people in those same other places that are quote unquote people of color or different types of black people, this government has been doing stuff in their country the whole time. And ironically,
LA,
yeah, you got it.
Go ahead, LA. But ironically, what you just said, I got a quote from Thomas Jefferson.
Oh yeah, I remember that quote.
Hold on. This is a quote from Thomas Jefferson about the legacy of slavery in Virginia. He said, "I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and that his justice cannot sleep forever."
Or they karma. Karma coming.
He knew it was
karma's
coming.
Yeah, like I don't, I like this is why, like in certain things, it's like okay, like even when people think about us as black people, we don't have as much money as the rest of people. That's true. We don't have as much access to resources as other people. That's true. But at the same time, we ain't gonna be on the hook for all of this debt. That's also true. See, we really don't owe China nothing. We don't owe Saudi Arabia nothing. And all the other groups of people who the one thing I can say about America and the American military, and going abroad with all these, all the wars and all the tactics, the military has people in every group, in every ethnicity, from every country within it. And I can guarantee all of those people can call their own people and tell their own people, I see what them black people is talking about. There's some bullshit going on here.
Yeah, but it shot them in the foot, though. See, America's done. Like, listen, white folks, to me, I think we're gonna switch spots. I think we're gonna go back to the top, and they're gonna go right back to the bottom, bro. It's about to be bad for. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be bad for white folks. Everywhere they go, I think they're gonna carry some type of stigma with them. Because I think, bro, we're going back to the top. I'm honest. I think we are. This right here showed me that we are ascending back to the top, and a lot of people won't want to see that. But listen, white people, it look like there's a switch going on. If you ask me personally,
I'm in agreement with what Thomas Jefferson said about the karma part. Like, I don't know who's personally. I think China is gonna go to the top for now, and then after China is gonna be Africa.
Yeah,
and then
circle.
And when Africa does it, it might be a long time before anybody else sees the top, because the vast majority of everybody's resources comes from Africa.
Yep.
When Africa shut that down and people got to pay for stuff, China gonna go under. The America, this country is already under as far as debt concerned. When people in China, they gonna realize you're not finna beat us militarily, so we ain't having it. And when I look at the situation like that, people seem to forget that it was like 30 to 40 years ago, and Britain had to get, basically quote unquote gave China back to China, Hong Kong and all that. So it didn't take them but 30 years to people forget. They talk the United States owes China, but China has surpassed them in 20, 30 years after they left. This has become problematic for when I think about white people per se. The European mindset is become problematic for it, because that mindset is becoming obsolete in the world, because you can't bring anything to the world by constantly taking and taking and taking and taking. Unfortunately, the reality that I see is I know America thinks. I honestly believe that America thinks that it has done something great for society, for mankind, without taking into consideration the rest of mankind don't think that.
Well, this is an experiment we have to remember. Okay, you take Ethiopia, for example. Ethiopia has been a country since before Christ was born. Think about that. Mm-hmm. America's been a country for 250 years. Mm-hmm. So that's a blink of an eye in time. This is all some new experimental shit. And we don't know if this shit's going to work or not. Right now, it's teetering on some real shaky ground. Right?
Well, I mean, let me tell you, this is the longest criminal run I've ever, probably in history.
Right.
This is the longest. This ain't the longest, because when people think about nations built on criminality, you think about Genghis Khan.
Right.
But see, somebody's spark gang is kind of do that. People forget about that part. People might think about something. All governments had a military aspect. A military aspect and a criminal aspect are thin, a thin line you can cross. You can go from military to organized crime just like that. And people don't realize this country has been, if this country is still involved in organized crime heavily on a governmental sense. So this ain't no bureaucracy.
Iran-Contra showed us that.
Yeah, dude, I was military. I was in Iraq. I could tell you some things that were going on in Iraq that was criminal. Like I've seen some things in my military experience that were criminal. Like this, what you see in a forefront, that's nothing going on behind back doors, bro. There's a lot of stuff, and a lot of people got a hand. But there's a lot of stuff going on back doors that y'all don't know about. Believe me.
I heard about the pallets of money being flown in to Iraq and all that.
Bro.
Listen, I'm not even gonna let you say something for somebody to put you. Look, I'm not even in the military. I've never been in the military, but I probably could tell you some of the stuff that you want to say right now. So we're not even gonna do it. We're not even gonna do it.
Man, but that's what I got out. I was like, hold up. I didn't come here for this. Like what? Like, hold up, y'all want me to do what? Nah, bruh. Nah.
Like people don't take into consideration this. And just tell me yay or nay. Some of these soldiers coming back with PTSD. Some of them shocked because they realized they was criminals when they was abroad.
Oh yeah.
That's what got them messed up. They like, wait a minute. I thought I was supposed to be a freedom fighter. I'm out here being a kick dough artist. Oh,
mercenary.
This is not what my God. I thought I was doing something for my country, fighting for our freedom. I didn't sign up for this. I was a jack.
Bro, let me tell you something, bro. I ain't gonna go all bro. It was some, and it's to a point that's just like, listen, what's your decision? Because it's like your humanity kicks in. It's like morally, your morals kick in. It's like, well, hold up. If I do X, Y, and Z, and this is for my country, but morally, I don't feel right doing X, Y, and Z. But if you go against the grain, see, this is why they got the Geneva Convention. If you go against a direct order, bro, they can put you to death on sight. They can shoot you to death right on sight and be like, bro, man, y'all ain't ready.
So jeopardize the mission and all that.
Yeah, bro. Mm-hmm. If you go against a direct order, it doesn't matter what it is. If I say I'm not going to do it in wartime, this is in the Geneva Convention, they can kill you on sight. Bam.
I probably ain't gonna be on here that much longer. So if I do, I will. But
I'm gonna fall back. Thanks L.A.R. for the time on you. It's my first time on your live stream, bro. But
it's all love, Pablo.
I support you all the time, man. I appreciate what you're doing out here.
Same thing too, Ellie. I'm about to dip. The kids won't go outside, bro.
Hey, let them play. Let them play.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
You got it. This is, I'm gonna speak for about 5-10 minutes, and I'm gonna bounce on this because it's like, listen, until we accept this country and all of its flaws, come on, like, because we gotta treat America. We don't have to treat America exactly how it treats us, but we have to accept this is how it's gonna treat us in all circumstances. I'm a firm believer that when you're completely honest and you just put it on the table, it makes people uncomfortable. And what I mean when I'm saying it makes people uncomfortable, if I could look, if I know you do people dirty, and I come to you and I look you in your eye and say, listen, I'm gonna be around for this amount of time. I know you're gonna do something dirty because you can't help it, but if you do something dirty, I'm gonna be on your head. That changes the whole dynamic of a conversation or just an interaction with a person, because then the person is like, oh, I'm not like that, man. That was just this. Listen, that was last time. I would never look. It's not like that, brother. This is what people do. It's just a human thing. When I know you a liar, I'm gonna say, okay, I know you lying. This time I'm telling the truth. Yeah, that's what you said. That's what you said last time. Remember? If I know you a thief, yeah, man, Can I go over there? Yeah, I'm gonna watch you though. Why are you gonna watch me? Because you're a thief. Man, I don't steal, you're a thief. So I'm gonna watch you. If something, I'm not even gonna give you the respect to let you do something on your own to come back here later and find out something missing. I don't even want to put myself in a position that somebody else takes something and I think it's you. I'm gonna watch you. I don't because you a thief. You're gonna have to live with being a thief. Us as Black Americans, we got to be willing to live with America the way America is. This situation is going down. Trust and believe, just like they brought up the brother that got killed protecting the store, Mr. Dawn. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right. But I also don't think it's right that you got quote unquote Black conservatives out here using that. Oh, now I'm done with the protests and the protesters. You was done with Black people far before that even happened. You're just looking for an excuse. You never done with white people when they do something wrong. You never done with white people. Nothing that white people have done make you say, you know what, I'm done with y'all. So I don't want to hear that. Personally, when I see it, when I hear it, I don't want to hear it. Do people make good points about certain things? Absolutely. But I'm not stupid. Black America, we got to stop playing stupid. We got to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Why? I don't know what's in a person's heart. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know if a person doesn't have a good heart. You absolutely know this. You know if a person has bad intentions. You absolutely know this. You know if a person is a bad human being. You absolutely know this. The fundamental thing about being in America is you can't be a good person and then when you see a person come on, you can't be a good person when you say I'm good to this person, but I'm not good to that person. But I'm a good person. These are the same people. This is the same type of person, but they just happen to be of a different ethnicity. They just happen to have a different history in America as a group. So I'm I'm a real good person, but I'm good to this Asian person, but I'm mean to this Puerto Rican person, even though they're the same type of individual. But I'm a good person. No, you're not. You're not a good person. You turn off being good when it's convenient for you. That's not good. We need to accept America is not a place of good people, especially towards us. America ain't good to us. America ain't never been good to us. We have to actually fight for America to treat us like everybody else in America, ironically. And even the other groups who are not Black and not white, they'll treat us just like white people do, and then when white people treat them racially, then they come back, brother. This is why it's a contentiousness between the quote us as people of color. We got to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't rock with us like that unless something happened to y'all. We've tried to. We have been the Native American to the white folks for everybody in this country. We've been, the welcoming person who got stabbed in the back is what I mean. We've been the welcoming person who got stabbed in the back by white people. That's their norm with us. I don't know why we keep welcoming them. We've been a welcoming person to the Hispanic community. We got stabbed in the back. We've been a welcoming to the Asians, got stabbed in the back. We've been welcoming to Jewish, who were also white people, by the way, got stabbed in the back. Welcoming to the Middle Easterners, got stabbed in the back. Like, let's not welcoming to even the other Black immigrants at times, got stabbed in the back. Let's just accept what it is. You ain't gotta hate these people either. We ain't gotta, but I don't have to hate a person to say I know what you're capable of. This is all I'm saying. Black America is unwilling to accept what America is capable of on all aspects. Let's just be real about it. I got you, Prometheus. I will do that. I'm going to get out of here. I thank y'all for rocking with me. Unc, I'm going to get you next time. Y'all take care. Peace.